អង្គុយចុះបាទអង្គជំរះកាសបន្តកិច្ចដំណើរការនីតិវិធីសកម្មភាពមុនផ្ដល់វិធីការជូនទៅក្រមមេធាវីការពារក្តីក្នុងដើម្បីមានឱកាសក្នុងការតាំងសម្រួលដេញដោលចំពោះសាក្សីកំបឿន
And she is informing the parties that since Tuesday, 5 May until the end of the week, Judge Fence will not be able to sit for health reasons after having spoken to the judges of the trial chamber. The chamber is appointing Judge Lukin to replace Judge Fence until she will be able to assume her duties again at the trial chamber. Pursuant to Rule 79 of the internal rules, the decision was taken. The chamber now gives the floor to the defense counsel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Your Honors. I have a few rounding up questions to you, Madam Witness. Are you there? Before the break,
yes, indeed.
Madam Witness, before the break, we spoke about you and also about Pak Chim as being respectively kind and humble revolutionary cadres. I have a follow-up question on this topic. What can you tell us about the 12 revolutionary moral principles of the CPK? What is it that you remember of it?
Answer: I do not remember these 12 commandments of the CPK.
I can understand that you don't remember them all, but do you remember that between 1975 and 79 you tried to abide by these 12 principles, that you tried to live up or that you tried to act according these 12 revolutionary principles?
Answer: yes, indeed. These 12 commandments existed, indeed, but I cannot tell you what their exact scope was.
I understand. Madam Witness, let me assist you a bit. Do you remember one of the 12 revolutionary principles that stipulated that cadres should not behave in any way that violates women?
Yes, I do remember that commandment.
And do you remember whether you ever at one point read about these 12 revolutionary principles in one of the revolutionary flags?
No. I don't remember having read such an issue of revolutionary flag. I read different articles, but I don't remember when I read about this commandment in particular.
Do you maybe remember in any other terms that in relation to this specific principle, guidance was also given as to what the points were relating to the setting up of a family, marriage, etc. Do you remember anything about marriage policy in connection with this revolutionary principle?
Answer: I don't understand your question.
I understand. It was a little poorly formulated. Let me rephrase. Do you know whether the issue of family and marriage was connected to the revolutionary principle of not violating women?
Answer: yes, I understand your question now.
The treatment of women was connected to the party's policy on setting up a family. Is that correct?
Answer: yes, that is true.
And is it correct that there were two principles in in relation to family and marriage? First, that both parties agree, and second, that the collective agrees, and then the marriage would be done.
Monsieur le Président.
President, witness, please hold on for a little while. The Deputy Co-Prosecutor has the floor. I understand the defense's question, and I'm asking myself questions, in fact, in relation to that question. The witness spoke about the fact that she remembered that there were commandments, but she didn't remember the exact content of these commandments. And here the question that is put to her, which is in fact suggesting the answers that she should provide. So therefore, the question somehow already accepts the fact that the commandments already existed with respect to marriage. And I don't believe I heard the witness speak about this specifically. So therefore, I think preliminary questions should be put with regard to the content of the commandments, or at least the content of some of the commandments, before jumping to conclusions and leading the witness to make conclusions on the basis of things that have not been determined beforehand. I don't know if I'm clear, but in any case, I have issues with the methodology here.
Mr. President, I think I asked the question to the witness whether she remembers one of the 12 principles being not violating females in any way. She concurred, she agreed. And then I asked some more follow-up questions, and now I am asking questions about the link between this specific revolutionary principle and the policy of setting up a family. So I think I laid the foundation for these questions, and I think the last specific question this witness should be able to answer.
Council Cooper, please rephrase your last question. The question poses the risk of being a leading question, so could you please rephrase your question in another way?
Madam Witness, was the policy of family and marriage connected to the sixth revolutionary principle not to behave in any way that violates women?
Answer. I don't understand the sixth revolutionary commandment. I don't, in fact, remember it at all.
Let me rephrase. Let me ask the question completely different. Was the marriage and family policy of the CPK based on two principles? First, that both parties agree to the marriage, and second, that the collective agrees. And if that is the case, then two people could get married.
Answer, yes, that is true.
Question, does this marriage or family policy follow from the revolutionary principle that says do not behave in any way that violates women?
Miss Kumbun, did you hear the question? Miss Kumbun, Apparently there are some technical issues here. Ms. Kambun, hello. Answer, yes, Mr. President. Hello. President, can you please listen to the questions and try to answer them? Answer, yes, of course.
Did you hear my last question, or should I repeat it for you?
Answer, please repeat the question since I couldn't hear you well. And your question was rather complicated because, as you know, I don't have a very high level of education. So could you please simplify your question?
I will do my very best, Madam Witness. The policy of the party in relation to marriage was based on two principles. First, both parties agree. Second, the collective agrees. I believe you said yes. My follow-up question, these two principles, do they follow from the revolutionary commandment that women, that you should not behave in any way bad to women?
Answer, yes, that's true.
Thank you, Madam Witness. I will move on to a point related to those 12 revolutionary principles. And I would like to read to you from a revolutionary flag from July 1978. Mr. President, that is E3/746, English ERN 00428304305, French 006118886, and Khmer 0064504 until 5. Madam Witness, I'm reading something now to you from the revolutionary flag, and it deals about the selection of members of cooperative committees. The characteristics that these people should have in order to become a member. They must have a staunch revolutionary stance in terms of the political line of the party. They must have a staunch revolutionary stand in terms of the party's lines in organizing leadership and carrying out work. And now I'm quoting literally, they must be most vigilant about the stances and attitudes of carrying out work in bureaucratic, Mandarin, authoritarian, militaristic, liberal, single-minded, aikachet, styles. The styles of taking no responsibility for anything vis-à-vis the party, the revolution, and the people. Madam Witness, this instruction, this guideline as to characteristics of members of the committee, does that ring a bell with you? Do you remember this instruction?
Answer, yes, this does ring a bell. It was necessary to choose leaders in the cooperatives who had good conduct and who would respect Ankar's discipline as you described. And I agree with you, but I don't remember the details because I have almost forgotten everything.
I understand, Madam Witness. It's a long time ago. But do you remember maybe members of the cooperative who did not have these characteristics, who were bad people in the sense that they were bad revolutionaries? Do you have any? Do you remember any concrete examples?
Answer, I don't quite understand your question. Could you please rephrase it?
Do you remember any examples of cadres within your commune who were bureaucratic, Mandarin, authoritarian, militaristic, single-minded? Do you remember any of those cadres in your commune?
Answer. There were not very many of them. As I said, some people would eat secretly and they did not have a responsible attitude. But however, they were not authoritarian.
Let me maybe move on to a concrete example, an example which you can also find in one of the 12 revolutionary moral principles, and that is not to drink or use alcohol as a cadre. Do you remember the revolutionary principle not to drink in your time in the commune?
Answer, yes, I do remember that.
And what would happen to a cadre if he was caught drinking alcohol?
Answer, well, if ever they caught him off guard, he would be educated and they would be threatened of being corrected or of being dismissed so that they would not continue with that kind of behavior.
Thank you, Madam Witness. I'll move on to another subject, and Mr. President, that is revisiting my earlier question before the break. I'm not sure yet if you have ruled already. However, what I would propose is that at least I'd be able, before you come with your final decision, or with your decision, to read the passage from Chuchet's confession so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that we know which specific details of his confessions I would like to put before the witness. And I think now also all parties have been able to have a look at this document. So it's 8 or 10 lines from this document, which I would like to read, and then I will sit down and listen to your decision.
President, the chamber actually ruled this morning that the content of the document as a result of torture cannot be used before this chamber, and the full decision will be issued next week. And I expressly stated that in the morning. You also stated that this morning that the International Co-Prosecutor quoted a part of the document. Anyhow, it was ruled, so please move on, Counsel.
Then I apologize, it's my misunderstanding. I thought there wasn't a formal ruling yet. But allow me to come back to this. I'm fine with this witness not answering this question, but I would like to have read in the record at least the passage that I would like to have read to her. I don't think it is forbidden to formulate my question. And I think I would like to have in the record what it is exactly that I would have put to the witness. So I think I'm allowed to read that passage, and then the chamber can stick with its decision that I cannot ask this question. However, I would like for the record to be very clear also for the appeal hearings, the very specific question that I wanted to ask to this witness.
President, the International Deputy Co-Prosecutor, you have the floor.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. There is no need to read the passage in a document in regard to which we can't put any questions to the witness. That's the first point. Secondly, by reading a passage, counsel will be attempting to influence the witness's answers by asking subsequent questions. I would request the chamber not to fall into this trap and accept such a request.
President, the chamber does not allow you to do that or to read an extract from a record or statement as a result of torture, and that's the end of it.
That's a very interesting ruling, but we still have S21 to deal with, including the question whether torture was committed, but that's another point. Okay, Madam Witness, I will move on to the very last question. There you are. And that is your husband, who was in the Popel commune. My question to you is, he has come up already a few times in your testimony. My question is, did you ever discuss with him your work in the commune your decisions? And vice versa, did he ever discuss with you his decisions, his policies, etc.?
I don't fully understand your question. Please rephrase it.
Put very simply, Madam Witness, did you ever speak to your husband between 75 and 79 about your work at home?
As a husband and wife, we spoke to one another, we fought one another, and that was a typical nature. Of course, it was not a big fight, but we had our personal opinion on various aspects, including political aspects. Yes, we did speak to one another.
And would you be able, in general terms, to say whether his decisions, his policy in Popel Commune were the same as yours, were corresponding with yours?
I cannot make a conclusion on this matter. However, in terms of implementing the order or instruction from the upper echelon, both of us would do it, would implement it.
But was there a difference between you and him in terms of implementation of the policy? Was he doing it the same way as you were?
I am unclear on that, as we did not meet very often during the regime. Sometimes we met only once in a month, and we didn't spend much time discussing these matters.
Okay, thank you, Madam Witness. Last subject I would like to discuss with you, and that is the enemy situation or the defense situation in April, May, June 1977. It's 2 years after the liberation. Do you remember whether there was increased violence coming from the Vietnamese in the period March, April, May 77?
No, I cannot recall that, as I was sick almost a year round in 1977.
So you won't be able to answer any concrete questions on enemy activity at the border in those months of 77, am I correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Witness, for answering my sometimes difficult questions. Thank you.
បាទតទៅនេះផ្ដល់
President, the Chamber would like to hand the floor to the defense team for Kieu Sampon to put the questions to this witness. You may proceed, Counsel. Counsel Kung Samon, thank you, Mr. President. Madam Witness, my name is Kung Samon. I am a National Counsel for Kieu Sampon, and I have some questions that I'd like to seek clarification from you. In relation to your written record of a witness interview, that is your interview, document E 312 says the Council /12/.3.2 at question answer 17, 18, and 19. You told the investigator of the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges, and also you stated on the same matter yesterday when you answered the question of the National Co-Prosecutor around 9 hours and 30 minutes. You stated that you never knew Mr. Kieu Sampon, nor met him, nor worked as his messenger. And my question to you is the following. Did you ever work as a messenger, say from 1970 to 1979? Answer: no, I never worked as a messenger, as I had young children to take care of. President, the Council, please check the document number again. It should be E319, not E3112. Council, allow me to check it, Mr. President. Council, my apology, Mr. President. The document is E319/12.3.2. Also, Madam Witness, on the same document, at question answer 327, you stated that during the 3 years period of the Khmer Rouge regime, did any senior ranking cadres, and in the parentheses, Kieu Sampon, Pol Pot, Nuon Chea, pay a visit to your area? And your reply is the following in A327: none, only Tamok did. Furthermore, no one knew Kieu Sampon, Pol Pot, and Nuon Chea. In relation to this extract, my question to you is the following. Do you confirm and stand by that statement? Answer: yes, I confirm and I stand by my statement. Council, thank you. Now I'd like to ask you about Tamok and his family. In the same documents, that is your written record of interview, at question answer 55 and 56, and allow me to quote these two question answers. Question: did you know Tamok? Answer 55: yes, I did. Tamok traveled around looking after work in the cooperatives and the communes. Question: did you personally know him? Answer 56: yes, I personally knew him. Sometimes he came to see the cooperative kitchen, and he asked the people whether they ate enough or not. Tamok visited every site. I met Tamok. End of a quote. Do you stand by your statements that I just read out? Answer: yes, I do. Counsel: thank you. Did you know Tamok went to various other work sites within the area? Answer: I only knew that he came to my area. Counsel: thank you. In the same interview, at question answer 61, you state, and I quote, I no longer saw Tamok about a year before fleeing the June because he went to work at different sites, but I did not know where he was. End of quote. Do you still stand by that statement of yours? Answer: yes, I do. Counsel: thank you. Did you ever hear a phrase that was used that above Mok's head there was a head, and above the head there was a sky? Answer: no, I have never heard that expression. Counsel: thank you. Regarding your role or position during the period of democratic Cambodia, and as you have stated that you were a commune chief at the beginning of the regime, and you then worked at the district level toward the end of the regime. And I have some questions regarding your position at the commune level. You stated that you attended meetings at the sector level, that is sector 13, and you made that statement in your written record of interview at question answer 82 of the same document that I quoted earlier. And you stated that for the you asked whether any senior cadres from Phnom Penh attended the meeting, and your answer A82 reads, no cadres of the center came to attend those meetings. And Madam Witness, do you still stand by that statement? Answer, yes, I do. It is correct. Counsel, thank you. Did you ever see the MOC attend meetings at the sector level? Answer, yes, I did. Counsel, thank you. In your same interview, at question answer 85, and you were asked the following question, and I quote, were the meeting outcomes disseminated through the center level? Answer 85, I did not know whether or not they reported them to the center. End of quote. And Madam Witness, do you still stand by that statement as correct? Answer, yes, it is correct. Question. In your response to question 146, you stated that it was sent to the district and that you did not know whether the district forwarded it through the upper echelon or not. And do you still stand by to that statement? Answer, yes, it is correct. Counsel. On the issue of agriculture, and there has been a lot of discussions on this very matter, that is on the issue of producing 3 tons of rice yield per hectare. Did you know about the policy of rice produce of 3 tons per hectare per year, rather 3 tons of rice yield per hectare? Can you tell the chamber from whom you heard about this policy? Answer, the plant of producing 3 tons of rice yield per hectare, I received that instruction from the district. So we try to use more fertilizer in the rice fields in order to achieve that outcome. Question. And who actually at the district level gave you that instruction, if you can recall? Answer, I cannot actually remember well. It could be, it was at the time of Ta Chai or Ta Kit. Counsel, thank you. On the issue of urgent meetings, as you were asked by the OCIJ investigator in question 160, you said that there were various kinds of urgent meetings. And let me quote, for example, when there was an abundance of rice in my commune, the impoverished commune immediately called for me to share the abundant rice to the commune where rice was lacking. End of quote. Can you tell the chamber whether your commune had a lot of surplus. Answer: no, there was not much surplus. However, if you compare the produce in my commune to other communes, we did have more rice, as our rice was sent to other communes. Council, thank you. Also, in your same written record of interview at question answer 83, you stated that, and I quote, when you were asked about what happened in the village, you said when any event happened at the base, village or commune, the village reported it to me, and if I could not sort it out, I had to refer it to the upper echelon. Besides this, they talked only about lack of food at the cooperatives and how we had to grow other supplementary crops for food. Additionally, if anyone misbehaved, we had to send them to the upper echelon, but I did not send very many. End of quote. And Madam, do you still stand by your statement? Answer: yes. Question: on some matters that you made your own decisions, am I correct in saying that? Answer: no, that's not the case. Question: allow me to rephrase my question in case that you found it difficult to understand. In your answer 83, you talk about the reporting to the upper echelon, and that certain matters you resolve them by yourselves. So my question to you was that you made certain decisions on certain issues and that you did not have to report those issues to the upper echelon. Is my understanding correct? Answer: yes, it is. Council, thank you. Now I move to the time period when you worked at the district. In that same document of your interview, at question answer 275, 276, and 277, and allow me to quote from 275 as follows. Tasaron appointed me district committee. There was no actual appointment. He just told me to have the district work because San was working alone. Furthermore, it was to have supervised the tailoring women. There was no written appointment. For example, during a meeting, they told us, you do this, you are transferred from here to that place. Taron said, go help San because San is alone. Taron might have received an order from the upper echelon too. Question: the sector echelon came to tell you to be district committee, and the sector might have received an order from the upper echelon. Do you think that the decision to appoint you on district committee came from the center in Phnom Penh? Answer 276. No, it came from the sector. Question. Could the sector level appoint the district level people without discussion with the zone? Answer 277. I do not know. End of quote. Madam, do you still stand by the statements that I just read out? Answer, yes, I do. It is correct.
បាទសូមអរគុណ
Thank you. You said to the co-investigating judges, as well as during the hearing itself yesterday, with regard to your appointment at Tramkok district, you said that you had been appointed in October 1968. 78, corrects the interpreter. This is in your written record of interview at question answer 30 and 31. And this involves an exception. Can you explain this notion of exception to the chamber? At questions 30 and 31 of your written record of interview, you answer, I don't remember very well, but there was an exception for those who had committed minor offenses, and these people had to be released. This is what I said. Question. You say that these people had to be released. What do you mean by that? Do you mean that those who had committed minor offenses had to be released? Answer was, what I mean by exception is forgiving. Forgiving those who had committed minor offenses. And I can't really understand this idea in depth. I simply believe that sometimes exceptional measures were taken. Question. Thank you. How long did you stay in Tramkok? Because you told us that you were appointed in October 1978. So I'd like to know how long you remained in Tramkok. Answer. I was there until the Vietnamese arrived, and then I escaped to the jungle. Question. Do you remember the date? Did you leave before 7 January 1979? Or how much time before or how much time after that date? Answer. I don't really remember specifically, but I know that I left Tramkok when Takeo was bombed. I don't remember exactly which month it was. Question. Thank you. Now, with regard to question answer 69, and I quote, did you go to the Sector 13 office when you were commune chief or when you were district committee? Answer, I went there when I was commune chief. And I never went there when I was district committee because the Vietnamese were attacking and approaching, and there was turmoil, so I could not go to the meetings there. Question. Well, I would like to ask you if you stand by your answer. Answer, yes, I do. I indeed stand by that answer. Question, thank you. I now would like to put questions to you regarding the revolutionary flag issues. In your written record of interview at question 121, and I quote, as a commune chief, did you ever have to do any propaganda on the revolutionary flag issues that appeared back then? Answer, this is your answer. I did not know about those magazines. I am not sure if the upper levels published magazines, but there were no magazines at my level. Question, so I'd like to know if what you say here is correct, and if you stand by it. Answer, I was not aware of the existence of these revolutionary flag magazines. Question, and when you were part of the district committee, did you ever see issues of revolutionary flag, corrects the interpreter? Answer, yes, but I did not know the content. Question, when you said that you had seen these issues, does that mean that you read them or you just simply saw them? Answer, no, I never read these issues, or in any case not in detail. I perused them because I had a lot of things to do. I was very busy. I had to work on farming the land. Question, thank you. Now I would like to turn to another topic which concerns marriages. Yesterday, this was at around 9:55 in the morning, you spoke about marriage. You spoke about different reasons why people would misbehave morally. And I would like to ask you, if single men or single young men could make love when they wish to. That is to say, could they have a love relationship without them being married? Without answer, no, that was not possible. Question, thank you. at question 153 and 154 in your written record of interview. So, answer 153, and I quote, at my site, if such a case happened, that meant that man and woman loved each other, so the village had to report to me, and I would call them to talk in order to arrange a marriage for them. Question: did people consider this kind of act as an offense? Answer: yes, it was indeed something that did not comply with our tradition. So I would like to know, therefore, if you stand by what you said, asks the council. Answer: I don't understand exactly what you just said. Could you please repeat your question? Question: yes, thank you. As I said, at question 153 and 154, I quoted your answer from question 153 that say, at my site, if such a case happened, that meant that man and woman loved each other, so the village had to report to me, and I would call them to talk in order to arrange a marriage for them. Question: so was this considered an offense? Answer 154: yes, it was against tradition. So these were single young men and women who were in love with each other. So I'd like to ask you if your statement here is correct. Answer: no. If both the young man and the young woman said that they were in love with each other, and there was no problem if the village chiefs approved of it. So what I said was not correct. Question: so let me please repeat what you said. If a single young men and women loved each other and they confessed that they were in love with each other, this was not a form of moral misconduct, and therefore they could get married. Is that what you wanted to say? Answer: yes, that's indeed what I wanted to say. President, the time has come for a short break. So the hearing will resume at 3 p.m. Ms. Combone, we will resume at 3 p.m. So you can rest now. So please return to the courtroom with your counsel before 3 o'clock. Thank you.